What's going on, boxing fans? This is Kenneth, SBM Boxing. You visit us on the web at www.sbmboxing.com. SBM Live, subscribe. Let's speak boxing. I'm over here at the Boxing Genius House. I thought I'd create a video speak about Manny Pacquiao versus Timothy Bradley too. I had a bunch of questions. People asked me questions about it. Don't have too much to say about it. You know, that fight's taking place April 12th in MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. And that's going to be a good fight. You know, I know in Big Apple they were having a press conference, pre-fight hype. You know, both fighters are coming in. Not too much hostility from both camps. You know, it's a little bit more professional, more laid back. Timothy Bradley looks a little bit more calm, more at ease than the first time he took on Timothy Bradley as soon as they went on press tour. I think he's used to the fame. He's used to the big challenge. He's been in the spotlight already. He fought Manny Pacquiao already. So he's coming in with the knowledge. He's coming in with the experience since the last time they fought. You know, last time they fought, it was a controversial, actually a robbery with against Manny Pacquiao. So Desert Storm definitely beat Manny Pacquiao in 2012. But on a big controversy as far as CJ Ross, Dwayne Ford, judges scorecards, it was Manny Pacquiao clearly won that fight. But is that Timothy Bradley's fault? No, it's not Timothy Bradley's fault. Timothy Bradley fought a good fight. He fought a good fight that fight. You know, he was hurt that fight, but he definitely fought a good fight. But like I said, take a step back. Coming into this fight, he looks a little bit more calm, composed. He's been battle tested. You know, he put on a great performance in this. Manny Pacquiao's right. He put on a great performance against Pronikov. He put on a great performance against Juan Marquez. You know, both fights. Pronikov. It was a close fight, but if you look at his psychological, at that point of his career, he wanted to prove the world wrong, you know, and I don't think he took Pronikov that serious. He went out for the knockout, and that's something that he should have did. That's a big mistake. But he took punishment. He took a lot of blows, took a lot of hits. Obviously, Pronikov is no joke because Pronikov completely dominated Mike Alvarado. So that dude is a beast. So Timothy Bradley withstand the storm, you know, Desert Storm. Timothy Bradley came out victorious against Pronikov and did a great put on a boxing clinic against Juan Marquez. And Juan Marquez is known to be a boxer, and Timothy Bradley just came out of his shell. You know, he definitely showed a little bit more. He showed himself to be a little bit more versatile fighter, defensively, offensively, and put in the boxing game. You know, outbox Juan Marquez, outpunch it, outlanded, and defensively he looked really good and able to counter him and every shot he threw. Anytime in that fight, when they exchanged, Timothy Bradley won the exchange against Juan Marquez. Even in the later rounds, he definitely won the exchange. As far as his endurance is there. But he knows what he knows what coming into the second fight. Manny Pacquiao, Timothy Bradley, they're the same fighters, but they've learned from their past. Manny Pacquiao has learned from Juan Marquez. He's not going to make that mistake again. Timothy Bradley has learned from Pronikov. He's not going to make that mistake again. You know, so they're coming into this fight a little bit cautious, you know. But one thing, you know, anytime you mention Manny Pacquiao, even in the press conference when I was watching the press conferences, the people have the tendency, and it's known to be because it's the mega fight. People have the tendency to overlook Manny Pacquiao's opponent and start talking about who? Floyd Mayweather Jr. Talking about Floyd. He did the same thing once with Juan Marquez, and that was during ESPN. And ESPN, they asked him. They asked him about Floyd Mayweather Jr. And Marquez was like, hey, I'm right here. Let's not talk about Floyd Mayweather Jr. You got to get past me. And he didn't get past him. He got knocked out. So don't make that mistake again. You know, you're talking about Mayweather. Timothy Bradley's, you know, if anything, Timothy Bradley, I'm not counting Timothy Bradley out on this one. I have my prediction. I have Manny Pacquiao winning this fight. He's explosive. He's fast. He's going to overwhelm Timothy Bradley with punches. He's definitely going to overwhelm Timothy Bradley with punches and power. But Bradley is getting a lot better as far as countering defensively and just knowing how to work the ropes and defensively know how to work the ring itself. He knows that, you know, pressing Manny Pacquiao because Juan Marquez put up a good blueprint to fight, how to fight Manny Pacquiao as far as the counter. And it's just, you know, I'm excited to see how Timothy Bradley's his whole approach is going to be in this fight. because Manny Pacquiao is just going to go at him. He's going to go after him. He's going to go after him. Hopefully, he's going to try to finish him off early. But I wouldn't count Timothy Bradley out in this fight whatsoever. But as far as Mayweather Jr., Floyd Mayweather Jr., he's coming out with all these on his Facebook. He's coming out with all these. As far as I want, having the Adrian Broner approach. As far as Adrian Broner, saying, you know what, the last fight when he fought, I'm gonna let y'all fans, I'm gonna let you guys pick my next opponent. And that's what Floyd Mayweather Jr. is pretty much doing. He was like, hey, look, I'm gonna let y'all pick my next opponent. I want y'all to pick either I'm gonna fight Marcus Madonna or Amir Khan. I'm gonna let you guys vote. And on the polls right now, they have Amir Khan winning. As far as what I've seen, everybody wants to see Marcus Madonna fight Mayweather. Everybody wants to see that fight instead. To me, I honestly think, let's take a step back. As far as styles wise, I think Mayweather completely outboxed and beat Marcus Madonna a lot easier than Amir Khan. Just stylistically. The reason I'm saying that is just because Mayweather, every fight Mayweather has, he has the advantage. What's the advantage? Is his speed and agility, being able to move around the ring, move quick, and being in and out and stuff like that, and being a hell of a counter puncher. And just fast. He overwhelms his opponents with speed. And that's basically it. Amir Khan has that speed. Amir Khan's very explosive. He throws not just 1-2 combinations. He throws about 4, 5, 6 combinations, and that's going to give any fighter problems. Yes, Amir Khan's chin, you can sit there and question his chin all you want. But, in boxing, it's a one-punch sport. That's it. Amir Khan got caught. He got caught good by Danny Garcia in the neck. And ever since he got caught by Danny Garcia in the neck, everybody's been questioning him as far as his chin. But he's been in some battles. Amir Khan has fought some great-ass opposition and good-ass fighters and look very, very good in doing so. And I don't care what anybody tells me whatsoever, Danny Garcia does not want that rematch against Amir Khan. So if that fight was to happen, my SBM Boxing, this is Kenneth, Let's Speak Boxing. Of the two fighters, I would like to see Mayweather fight Amir Khan. Do I think that'll be a good fight for Floyd Mayweather Jr.? Yeah, that'll be a good fight. If you were to select the two, I think that'll be a good fight. But do I think it's a waste of a fight? Absolutely, I think it's a waste of a fight. I'm a big Floyd Mayweather Jr. fan. I'm a huge Floyd Mayweather Jr. fan. He's 45-0 for a reason. He's very, very gifted in what he does. He's mastered his craft. Offensively, defensively, he's a complete fighter. He's a complete fighter. Boxing skills, boxing ability, in and out the ring. The guy's a master. He's definitely a master. People are saying he's ducking and dodging. Look, he had to fight the best to get where he's at right now. Even in his earlier career, in his younger career when he fought, all the way from amateur all the way up. People are forgetting in 1 year he was a title holder. He won his first title in 1 year coming in from amateur. So the boy's bad. The boy's bad, and he's moving up in weight class, and just completely dominating every division. So where he's at right now, people are forgetting. You know what, Mayweather Jr. This last fight, if he was to take on Amir Khan, I'm gonna be realistic. I'll never say this about Floyd Mayweather Jr., but him taking on Amir Khan, I can't justify that. I can't justify that whatsoever. And me and the boxing genius has been going on for years and years and years and years. I'm a Floyd Mayweather Jr. fan. He thinks Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a fluke. He thinks Floyd Mayweather Jr., you know what? He needs to fight the best. And I've been defending it. I've been defending it from day one. I think he fought, when Gotti was on top of his game, when Ricky Hatton was undefeated and Ricky Hatton was a dude, because I remember the boxing gym was like, yo, he needs to fight homeboy Ricky Hatton. He's scared of Ricky Hatton. Even ESPN, Kenny was sitting there saying, you know what? He needs to fight Ricky Hatton. He completely dominated Ricky Hatton. He needs to fight De La Hoya. He beat De La Hoya. Yeah, it was a close fight. He beat De La Hoya. He beat as soon as Adrian Broner was coming up, and Victor Ortiz did his thing and not, completely outbox Adrian Broner. Not Adrian Broner, the fuck is this guy's name? Andre Berto completely, because Andre Berto was coming up. Andre Berto was supposed to fight Sugar Shane Mosley. That fight didn't happen. Andre Berto took on Victor Ortiz, and Victor Ortiz beat Andre Berto. And I remember people saying, you know what, damn, that's going to be a good fight against Floyd Mayweather Jr. But as soon as Floyd Mayweather Jr. beat him, all of a sudden, that was a pussy ass fight. Robert Ghost Ferrero beat Dean. Um, he beat everyone they put in front of him. He beat Andre Berto, and all of a sudden they were just like, look, man, this Robert Ghost Guerrero. And I got video of this shit. Robert Ghost Guerrero is gonna whip the shit out of Mayweather Jr. Mayweather Jr. made him look stupid. So you know what? They didn't get credibility on that one. Canelo's, Floyd Mayweather Jr. doesn't want any part of Canelo. He beat Canelo. After he beat Canelo, and then all of a sudden all the excuses came afterwards. Miguel Cotto beat Miguel Cotto. He didn't beat Miguel Cotto back then. He beat Miguel Cotto now, but still, he beat Miguel Cotto. All the excuses came back again, and it just going. He's in a situation. He's gonna, but he has to fight the best. As far as him coming off a victory against Canelo Alvarez, and then him picking Amir Khan. I'm gonna have to say this, dude. That was a cherry pick ass fight. Him picking Amir Khan. That's a cherry pick ass fight. I don't care. I'm a big Mayweather Jr. fan, but I'm gonna be realistic with you, man. That was a cherry pick fight because there are a lot of fighters out there in the 147 or 154 that you could have went ahead and fought. And especially, it completely contradicts everything that he says to fight Manny Pacquiao. There's no reason why he shouldn't be fighting Manny Pacquiao whatsoever. Manny Pacquiao's a big ass draw. You're gonna make money. Manny Pacquiao, as far as money-wise, financial-wise, he doesn't want 50-50. You want to talk about Bob Arum. Manny Pacquiao's even looking to leave Bob Arum during this fight. Bob Arum's even one that's, breach his contract and let Manny Pacquiao go so Manny Pacquiao can get this fight. Manny Pacquiao's willing to take the drug test. 2 weeks, 1 week, it doesn't matter. He's willing to take the drug test. He's giving you a bigger cut. As far as the payday, you're going to make money, and it's still a mega fight. If you want to say what the boxing genius said, you're scared. Look, Manny Pacquiao has lost to Juan Marquez. Juan Marquez done fought him like four times. Timothy Bradley, he fought him twice, and Timothy Bradley didn't even look that bad against Juan Marquez, and he's fighting him again. No ifs and buts about it. He's not even hesitating. Juan Marquez is not even hesitating. Timothy Bradley, which is a champion, he doesn't even have to fight Manny Pacquiao again, and he's going to fight Manny Pacquiao again. So it says a lot, man. It definitely says the money's there. Bob Arum's going to be out the picture. He's going to take the test. So, you know what? You can say what you want. Mayweather, you can say what you want. But SBM Boxing, both Kenny and George, I'm going to have to agree with George on this one. Bro, if you don't, I'm going to give you 2 years. I don't care. I'm going to give you a year and a half. If you don't take on Pacquiao, bro, this whole boxing channel is on my talk shit every single time because seriously, there's no reason right now there's no reason why you should be fighting Amir Khan. There's no reason why you should be putting on Facebook. Who do you think I should fight, fans? Don't sit there and ask who the fans want to see you fight. Because if you really cared what the fans want, give the fans what they want. Don't sit there and ask, what does the fans want, and just give them two selections. If you're really going to give them what the fans want, give them Manny Pacquiao and see what happens. Throw Manny Pacquiao in that mix, in that little bullshit ass survey you got. Throw Manny Pacquiao in a little survey you got, and see what happens. Throw Lada in that survey, and then you see what happens. Because Lada and Manny Pacquiao will be your top selections. Amir Khan won't even be a selection. Marcus Madonna, yeah, just based on culture, you might have several selections on that one. And you know what? Marcus Madonna earned, he earned that. He beat your little brother, Adrian Broner. And Adrian Broner goes quote unquote saying that he's the closest thing to Floyd Mayweather Jr. If he took a loss, then it's like Mayweather. Adrian, man, you're a good fighter. You need to get back to a 130, 135. If you want to go to 140, go ahead and go 140. Get battle tested and you come up to 147, but there's no reason why he needs to compare himself to Floyd Mayweather Jr. And in that fight, there was no head movement whatsoever. He was flat-footed that whole fight. He wasn't moving whatsoever in that fight. He was standing flush. Yeah, he was using the shoulder roll, but the shoulder roll is not going to move if you ain't got no head movement if you're not moving around the ring. And his punch output was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So Anyways, guys, this is Kenneth SBM Boxing. What's my fight prediction on Timothy Bradley versus Manny Pacquiao? You know what? I'm a fan of Manny Pacquiao, and I'm a fan of Timothy Bradley. You know, it's a coin toss on that one. If Timothy Bradley wins and beats Manny Pacquiao, I'll be upset just because it's gonna give another excuse for that fight with Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao not happening. That's the only reason. But I will give my credit to Timothy Bradley because he's earned it and he's a good fighter. He's a humble dude. I love his interviews, and I'm starting to be a big fan of Timothy Bradley. Desert Storm Bradley. Win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter. I'm a big fan of Timothy Bradley because he's real humble, and I respect that. In and out the ring, especially when he does his interviews, man. He's a man, dude. You know, he'll answer your questions. He's polite. He's very professional. As far as Manny Pacquiao, if Manny Pacquiao wins the fight, I'm not gonna be mad, man. But my fight prediction on that one, I think Manny Pacquiao's gonna win that fight. As long as he keeps his guard up, as long as he keeps his defensive mindset on there, he'll be good to go as far as winning that fight. Because Manny Pacquiao can box. You know, sometimes he gets overzealous, he gets a little bit too excited, and drops his hands. But anyways, guys, this is Kenneth SBM Boxing from Request Subscribe. What do you guys think, man? Am I talking too much? Let me know what you guys think. As far as your fight predictions against Manny Pacquiao versus Timothy Bradley, what do you guys think as far as Mayweather? Mayweather putting on that little survey with Amir Khan or Marcus Madonna. But anyways, guys, subscribe, friend, request. Have a good one.